7 p.m. you say? All right, this whole weekend I've been busy. I've been busy with a convention, and I sold some comic books even, in case you must know, for your information. Good times were had, and I met Shel Presto, so awesome, and her husband, Mike DeBaggio, and the kids. Good times. Good times, good times. I kind of inspired me to want to be getting back into miniature gaming. It's kind of a miniature gaming convention, but they allowed my comics to be there somehow. Gotta respect the hustle. One of the things that did not happen this weekend, though, is getting any drawing on comics done. So let's make that happen now. And maybe we can finish at least one panel. I've already been drawing on it, as you can see. This is Rabbit Fighter just basically emptying his gun into this crowd of gamma zombies. I'm unsure how to do it. The old classic way to draw, like in the Western comics, or even the true crime, or they would do the crime doesn't pay mafia style comics, is when you showed a guy shooting a gun, you would actually draw a line. You would draw the line of where the bullet went, which I'm not doing, obviously. I'm just putting a lot of sound effects here. Poorly, hastily written sound effects. Actually, these look okay, I think. You got to be careful not to shorthand anything. So, like, when I drew that M, one of the sides of the M had collapsed. Oh, man. I was looking at Donald DeLay's, he's doing some panels from something he's working on. I think he's working on something called Jagerbomb, or Jagerbomb, which is kind of like a wrestling cartoony character. He's one of the best, I think. And he has a panel where it says boom, and it was just like a perfect C.C. Beck boom, It's one thing that C.C. Beck had was the boom. C.C. Beck being the Captain Marvel Shazam guy. Doesn't it suck that you have to kind of like specify Captain Marvel, but not her, the real Captain Marvel, the one that says Shazam, Billy Batson. You could say the other Captain Marvel. What do you mean the other Captain Marvel? Mary Marvel. Mary Marvel. There was a place and time where I was certainly like a Marvel loyalist. I can tell you that up until I was in college, just about, right up until about The Dark Knight coming out and The Watchmen, there was kind of a perception of DC being kind of corny, kind of goofy. And it had a lot of, there was a lot to back it up. Like, there was a character named Vibe, and he was like a Puerto Rican, like a street dancer, kind of. He would do break dancing, that's what I'm saying. And talk in lingo. And it was rightly understood as corny. Quite corny. But like, he was in, I can't remember what he was in. I think he was in the Justice League, where he didn't really fit in. What was Vibe in? I'll have to look it up. All I remember is just seeing some panels of they had Vibe talking to somebody and being real stupid, and it was like, all right, just move on. Let's get to the other part of the. And normally, like, okay, so I'm the guy that I like all of the D-list and C-list superheroes. Like, the reason I would read Avengers back in the day was because it had Vision in it, and Vision wasn't in anything else. And you know, he had that classic green and yellow costume, so cool. But not just Vision, Yellow Jacket and Wonder Man. I saw some controversy over Wonder Man the other day. Oh, you don't know Wonder Man. None of you love Wonder Man. No, I do love Wonder Man. I always thought he was cool and unique. I liked him when he had the red. He had like it was like a survival jacket. I guess we used to call that a photographer's vest. But he looked cool, man. He looked kind of like the Doc Samson, Doc Savage, not Doc Samson. Samson's a Hulk side character, side piece, not a side piece. I'm doing this tree. And Avengers was really cool for that because it was a team book with unfamiliar characters, and it continued to have one or two unfamiliar characters on it all throughout the 80s, including the period where, by the way, the other Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, was in charge of the team. Everyone loved this book. Then they got real silly with it, and they had, you know, the Avengers West Coast, and I think I had like the first like couple of issues of that, because it's like, you know, a comic would come out and you would want to get the first couple of issues. All right. I don't know if we're screwing up here by making the tree this size or what. I'm gonna just do some. I've already screwed my depth by doing a sort of a dead-on, head-on perspective. You know, by having them like this. But anyways. But like even Ant-Man, you wouldn't see Ant-Man in anything else. You might see him sometimes in, you know, Marvel 2-in-1 or Marvel Team Up or something like that. But, you know, in concept, the Marvel comics were mostly, I say mostly, they were mostly their own universes with some crossover. Like you could see Spider-Man run across, you know, the Fantastic Four. After all, they lived in the same city. Or I remember some really memorable issues of Iron Man with Ant-Man in it, and so on. What I'm kind of doing is like it's kicking up some dust or something. We're just gonna. Am I kayfabing this too much by causing a fucking bunch of. Yeah, a bunch of shit. Okay. Well, anyways. I'm going off of the, like there's the pencil layer, and I've already kind of dropped the pencil layer, so let's go off the pencil layer. We're just going to try and throw some dark, savage shadows on there and hope for the best. We're never disappointed. I haven't drawn the next page because it's going to be another complicated page. I think this one was meant to be a bit more complicated, and we could call it a bit of a cop-out. A bit of a little lazy cop-out because, you know, I only put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of hinted a 6th or maybe a 7th zombie on there that he's firing into the crowd. And then on the next page, got one more panel to go. On the next page, like he runs out of bullets, click, click, click. We're just going to show him just getting tackled by a pile. Like he's going to get like full-on football dog pile of zombies. And the zombies are dangerous, you know, they're going to be snapping and attacking there. Luckily they're not like the traditional zombie infects you with zombieism via a bite. That's not the case with these guys. These guys, they're gamma zombies, so they actually have to put you through a process where they capture you and they put you through this radioactive process. Let's get rid of that pencils again. And that's what turns you into the gamma zombie. Alright. If you haven't been paying attention, I've also started my new live streaming video games. I highly encourage you to check it out, called Vole playing games. I'm playing Trove right now. I might play some other games in the future. I'm thinking I might play Daggerfall at some point, or maybe some other game. Maybe just Minecraft and or Factorio or something. Any requests? Put them in the comments. Place your comments in the comments section. You know, if you want to see a certain game, if I have it. The only kind of game I don't really play are the first-person shooters. Although Trove is kind of a shooter, but Trove is an MMO, but it's a really Atari-like MMO. If you've watched any of my streams, check it out. It's actually very fun. Normally, if I didn't already have the focus lines like I did on the inside panel, I might even put focus lines on Rabbit Fighter here. But it wouldn't make any sense. Just wouldn't make any sense, man. All right. Okay, let's give this slightly more texture. So my day started really weird today because first of all it was raining and I had to drive to Lancaster, PA, which is a ways away, a couple hours away. Actually it's an hour and a half. But you know, first thing you do in the morning, it's a pretty easy drive. It's not a hard drive at all. And I didn't realize that the time change had happened, which it did. So there's a time change that took place. So first of all, I was up earlier, or rather, you know, I think I slept the same amount, or maybe even got an extra hour of sleep. And got all the way out there, but I was too early. I probably could have gone in, but I was like, oh, I'm going to get some breakfast. So across the street there was a IHOP. So I go over to the IHOP, and the first thing that I do is I'm getting out of my car and I like lock the keys into my car. Now luckily I have a car with like manual door locks, and I've locked the keys in the car. This is the third time I've done this, and as I said, luckily I'm real good at getting them back out again. And all you got to do is you got to get a piece of wire and hook it up there. But you know, I'm in a different state. Somebody's gonna see me breaking into my own car. I'm gonna be in trouble. I just walked alongside the road. I found a piece of wire and carried it back. It's pouring rain, so I was just soaked through. I had this jacket on and just got completely soaked. Like I looked like I had gone swimming in my clothes. And I found a piece of wire, walked it back. Within a minute, I swear it's a minute, I jimmied the door lock, got in, got my keys out, and then I went into IHOP and I ordered breakfast. And nobody said anything. Nobody saw me, I guess. It was pretty quick. I was like, oh, that would be great. That would be the embarrassment of like Peter gets arrested for breaking into his own car or something like that. I mean, I guess I had some identifying items in the glove compartment. I probably could have saved me if that had happened, but still. And then I got over there to the convention, and it was the last day, so it was kind of not much going on today, and it ended at 12, which I still screwed up because I was like packed up by 11:30 or something like that. But I was like, you know what? I've got the momentum. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go for it. Just gonna go. Made it back. I am kind of inspired to get into like miniatures again, though. I was really thinking about it, and I don't know. I think it might be a lot of fun. All right, so this guy. Is it too confusing of a panel? That's the tough part. Like, are the figures, do they seem separate from the negative space? Can we tell that they're getting shot? I think we should be able to tell that they're getting shot. But I don't want to have anybody's like head explode or anything like that. I think that would be uncool. I mean, when we see their eyes kind of shut like that, okay, this guy's getting shot, and this guy hasn't been shot right here yet. All right. I'm kind of filling in some black. I don't know if it was the most efficient use of negative space here or of perspective with my gunfighter pose right there. But let's at least do this. We're going to do some plants. Make them a little bit closer. Because you can see that Rabbit Fighter, he's standing just in front of the eye line, the horizon line, so... And that means we could have stuff behind him. I could even have maybe some guys in the mist. I don't know. Alright, let's just call that a day. I think that'll communicate to the reader. This is going to be a nice simple panel, right? If we got a nice complicated panel, we need to slow it down. Alright, let's go for it. For whatever reason, I do like starting with the hat. El sombrero. Nice. Nice. This has to be a horrified look right here. The way you do it is you have to leave the white space above the eye, which also shows you the that it's an upshot. You know? And then Alright, pretty good. We're gonna call that a start. Obviously there's more like details that we could put in there. We'll get to that. Yeah, this is my Al Cap. A little bit of a Al Cap comic language is the beads of sweat. You would never see that in a Marvel comic, I tell you what. That is straight up Al Cap right there. Alright, how do we do this crowbar? Used to be a pretty cool Marvel villain. Part of the Wrecking Crew, there was a dude with a crowbar. Right? Remember that? That was good times. Alright, so I have his other ear. I'm going to go ahead and put it in front. Even though I didn't do it in front on the other panel. Is that a hit against continuity there? I want to assume that there's enough movement going on that the ear could move. You gotta do your strokes in the right direction if you want to get the shadow right. There we go. Fast strokes. There we go. This almost has a like a classic Japanese woodcut samurai crazy eye looking thing going on. What if I put an eye right there? Yeah, that he looks even more full of rage, and not just rage but stress. We know he's stressed. Alright. Also, we gotta eventually get that rifle in there. The rifle is, you know, I think he's gonna have to lose the crowbar at part of, you know, because I want to show, you gotta show danger, you gotta show people losing a little bit. So I was thinking about, he drops, you know, he's out of bullets, you know, maybe he throws the gun, I don't know, or drops it and just starts swinging away with the crowbar, and then he gets the crowbar stuck in one of the zombies or something like that, and then it's like, that's it, you know, he's still got the rifle, maybe he swings the rifle like, you know, like a club or something. I'm gonna just give him the 3 fingers. He's only supposed to really have 3 fingers. He has an inconsistent number of fingers. I'm looking at this gun too, and we want to go underneath the gun. I want to crush it. Alright. Let's I think I want to like take it and just compress it down. Let's see. Distort. That's the word I'm looking for. Doesn't that look better if I do it that way? Does that look more Mauser-like? I think I just had it too tall. That's all really funny. Video. Whoops, I'm on the wrong layer. I don't know why that reminded me of it, but it It was Theo Vaughn on Australians. He said, I think they've served their time. They deserve to be free. Because Australia was a prison colony. That's all he knows about it. Theo Vaughn's pretty funny. Shit, what's going on there? All right. I think my line weights are suffering. All right, we'll figure this out. We're getting there. All right, we're getting there. Set me free. Okay, here we go. And line weight's wrong. He's looking the wrong direction. He's looking this way. He should be looking at the gun. All right. That changes things slightly. All right. Okay. All you gotta do is set me free. All right, here we go. There's our stripes. Okay. And then finally, there's our rifle strap. This is the first time I blacked it out, but I think it's okay to black it out in this particular panel. Just because it fits the balance pretty well, and it could be blacked out. My one worry, let's take off the pencil layer and we'll see it, is this texturing has gone wrong. It is. That's a little bit better already. There has to be, he has an angry look, but he also has to have like a concerned look, like, aw, crud. There we go, that's a better. That's a nice gradient hatch. Nice. And we'll have to do some kind of non-gradient hatch on the underside of the poncho. I had a really busy week last week. I still got videos done. I still got comic pages done. But I was super busy at work. In case anyone is watching this and doesn't know, I work full time too. It's not all fun and games over here, pal. Alright, that's a gradient hatch. I'm learning how to do all kinds of stuff from Alphonse Dunn. I'm not saying I'm doing it great, but I'm learning. Right? Maybe one day I'll be good. Maybe one day. It's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy. Chester the Cheetah will tell you. Alright, check this out. Let's put some texture in. Mobius used to do this. He would do these little pock marks. I don't know what they are. But even just a couple of dots. Is often enough to, you know, make it look like something's going on. And then the all-important I don't even know if click deserves a, instead of a exclamation point, I'll just put a period because it's disappointing. It's not allowed. It's not like my badam badam alright. I just don't like those clicks. Those are not working. Let's try it again. I think it might be that I need click, click, click. And then we're going to leave a lot of open white space in this because we're trying to show something. I'm kind of tempted to even pull the panel borders off because it'll show like a sense of isolation. Let's take a look at it. Hang on. Layer 1. Rectangle. Okay. What if I do that? Makes me wonder. I mean, I could, if I did that, I could draw right into the bleed. Let's see how that looks. Gonna show a thumb. One of my problems is, you know, when you're doing a partial like this, I haven't necessarily planned how it's gonna look. Actually, that's kind of cool. I think we're okay. One of the problems I'm creating for myself right now is when you do hatching like this, since I didn't plan for it, I actually had the gradient kind of ending. So let's do this over. Or another option. We could do that. Tell you what, let's do that. That means we're taking the poncho and it's swinging to the other side. And actually, that's what it was doing. Kind of in the other panel, a little bit, maybe? Not really. I think it looks okay though. And we leave this as pure negative space, and that's not out of an oversight. That's actually on purpose. It's to show the feeling of isolation, like you just screwed up. Whoops, whoops. All right, let's. I want to fix these C's. I want to make sure that they have full line weight on the, all throughout the C, letter C. It's such an easy letter to get wrong. Let me see. There we go. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, here's my question. Is the nose wrong? Is the mouth wrong? Whoops. How could all this be better? Whoops. Shut up. Freehand. Let's move the mouth around a little bit. Hold on. We're just trying to cut that. Get rid of that. All right. Nope. Get rid of that too. Oh, I copied the entire layer accidentally. Okay, let's try and get that mouth layer. We'll move it around. Alright, let's leave there. I can see my C is not perfect. Let's make the C a little bit better. Not that they're ever perfect. I'm just trying to pull the points off of there. How about those K's? What's wrong with that K? No line weight. Everything's line weight, man. Okay. Ah, crud. All right. These people. Alright, now the gun we have established is of, it's kind of a black metal, I guess. So we want to be able to show, you know, the bottom line weights, and any intentions should have the heavier side. That seems to work, actually. Alright, I think we've done it. Let's call this one good enough. It's just one page among many, right? We do this whole thing. Whoops, where are we? We do this whole thing. You know, we're going to have to account for a variety of pages. And not every page is going to be perfect. Not at my level. Me being an amateur. The goal is just get it as good as you can so you can continue moving. And I think that's where we are. Alright, next page. I guess I'll try and draw it tomorrow, which is Monday. I'll try and maybe I'll do a stream or I'll do a video. But in the next one, we're basically just going to show, I think it's going to do 2 panels, 1, 2. And it's going to show the zombies just doing an utter dog pile of Rabbit Fighter. And he's going to, he loses the gun right away. He's going to fend a couple of them off with the crowbar, and then he gets the crowbar stuck. So maybe it's 3 panels. Let's call it 3 panels. Dog pile. They're boom. They're on top of him. Second one, you see him in the middle of the pile, and he's pushing him, right? And then on the third one, he jams the like maybe he's swatting one. He bashes one, and then the third one, he jams. This is 4 panels. Let's call it 4 panels, right? Let's do the let's do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, straight down the page. First one, dog pile. Second one, he swats a guy with his crowbar. Third one, he impales a zombie like through the head with the crowbar. And then the fourth one, he can't get the crowbar loose. And then he can't get the crowbar loose, and you're gonna see some like arms like behind him grabbing him, and that will get us into page. This is page 9. Page 10, where, yeah, maybe I cut away right then. Maybe that's the perfect time, you know, because we could play the whole fight out, the whole battle. I think on page 10, I think he looks across while he's fighting the zombies. One of them's got him from behind. And I think they're clawing at him. He's getting beat up. But he's going to look across and say it can't be. And he's going to see his sword sitting in a pile of junk. And so we'll focus in on the sword. And he goes like full kung fu. Escapes long enough to get the sword. And then we're going to see like... I mean, it's going to be like that ending battle in Stranger Things where he's got the sword and he's just going to be like... just cutting his way free. It's going to be awesome. Meanwhile, at some point I got to cut away back to Gallows. There's going to be a thing where one of the zombie leaders and a pack of zombies, like 4 zombies or something, they were not fooled, and they track him back to the robot hand, and they're going to Gallows is going to be seen working on the robot hand, and they surprise him, and I don't know, something bad's going to happen to Gallows. He either gets shot or something, but he has to use his rope, his actual grapple hook. That's his cool power, and we'll have this whole battle. All right, like, follow, subscribe. Leave a comment below if you into the comics. And I will talk to you later.